Water tank is full.
The big beat.
The big beat.
Big beat.
The big beat.
Big beat. The big beat. Big beat.
The big beat.
The big beat.
Big beat.
The big beat.
The big beat. The big beat. The big beat. The big beat. The big beat.
Let's get real. Making a big impact as an independent artist in today's musical landscape is like trying to find a needle in a field of haystack. And that is exactly what Malvika Nanda set out to solve 14 years ago with The Big Beat. The Big Beat is about two things: enabling artists to discover themselves through their musical journey and then getting them discovered by the world. All through a systematic strategy, a contextual narrative, and honest, bespoke storytelling. In this world of growing digital clutter and transient, commodified success, TBB carries a torch for building a rock-solid foundation, a brand, and a lasting legacy.
It's very important for me, especially in my situation, because I'm an independent artist, and you need your music to be placed and promoted in a way that makes sense to oneself, as well as, it should be a workable solution.
The importance of marketing is probably, if not more, then probably little notches lesser than the music itself, because there's so much of hundreds and thousands of great, brilliant songs out there, which probably never reach the right audience because it's not marketed well, and it's the other way also. There are a lot of these lip sync patu songs which become blockbusters, and because they're marketed well. So yes, marketing is a very, very essential part. Again, as I told you, not only for music or anything in the world.
Music is like food. We have to eat it to survive. And music is like, it's the same thing, like I don't like to eat just one food. I like to add different flavors, And so music now, because of the fact that we don't have these labels controlling everything, you hear there's no rules anymore. People like hip hop and rock, and there's hip hop kids playing guitar. There's, it's like, it's become it's no longer a marketing thing where you have, this is how you do it. This is how it worked last year.
The one important piece apart from, producers and great songwriters and singers is that the ability to take that music and go to the market. And when you have labels like us trying to sort of, make their music worldly wise and acceptable to the whole world, the story and the narrative is as important.
The art itself communicates something. On top of that, the artist as a human being communicates something. Now that might be fabricated or authentic, but that depends on what the artist prefers. The third communication comes from PR. That, how do people in the artist's team, or people who are mentoring the artist, or people who are working with the artist in these other diverse communication arenas, how are they carrying forward the message that the artist resonates with, the tone that the artist wants to, like you can be a rebel with a soft voice, and you can be a rebel who's like, Argh! So, everything has to synergize. The music, the person or the projection of the person, and the team around the person. Everything has to synergize into one message that amplifies and repeats, so that it becomes absolutely clear to new listeners, and it also becomes a repeating affirmation to older listeners or fans who've already been converted.
While independent artists are fighting for the playfront status, that is, you need to, my voice, my face, my personality as an artist has to come first, and then music has to get promoted. It is better off than before, but it is still competing with the playback generation.
If I'm a certain band, our first and most important thing is to write our own tunes and write the song that we want, like the way we want it to be. But there should be some key helps, like there has to be those key partners that the band should actually tie up with, because one is the creative side of things. You also need to have someone who can really think of how to blow you up and give you the right strategy and the right moves that will really help your music to reach the right audience.
I think today an artist's personality, persona, image, that
that they portray to the world in the music industry as well, like is pretty damn important. I think that like through Instagram, through all those things, like I think it's like one of the most important things that an artist has a persona, or rather an artist maybe builds themselves as a brand and thinks of themselves that way. Like we've obviously often heard about how like artists have to think like entrepreneurs and all those kind of things. So I think it's fairly important.
Perspective is extremely important in today's day and age, and think from the other side as well. Of course, there's a business to be done. Of course, there's money to be made, but the comfort of an artist is what makes the show truly get great. And Malvika has constantly endeavored to bring that comfort to the artist, and that's why I guess a lot of people have found their comfort zone in working with the Big Beat. And that might sound very simplistic, but the thing is that that's one of the most important things to remember when you're working with anyone in the creative field, and to make someone comfortable all the while getting all the other practical nitty-gritties done. Absolutely fantastic.
The artist on his own may not be able to do everything in terms of reaching out to the audience, but somebody who believes in that artist, understands what they need, what needs to be done to push the artist, how to get what are the artist's strengths, even the weaknesses which need to be improved upon or cut down upon, like those kind of things. So there's somebody who needs to understand the artist story, and that can happen through a personal bonding with the artist. I think that Big Beat built a kind of following with whatever artists they've worked for, and that's in the right direction.
It's so important because we're in an industry where there's so much competition now. I mean, every single person I know is just like start singing or making music, and it's amazing, but at the same time you kind of get lost, and you need that guidance and that advice, and someone to kind of tell you that these are the right steps you're supposed to take, and don't do this, meet these people. As an independent artist especially, you have to do everything yourself. You don't you have to do your social media yourself. So having an agency like the Big Beat helps a lot, and kind of shows you like a pathway of like just guides you through your music journey in this crazy industry.
I think something that is really useful for every artist is to know what kind of artist they are. I think when you know what you are and you're able to clearly explain to someone what you are, what your goal is, what you want to do, then you can go about a strategy on how to do it, and then you can attempt to market yourself to make songs that fit that vision and that are really authentic to who you are. So I'm really happy that the Big Beat helped me outline those points about my artistry, what I think, what I want. Because oftentimes before I wasn't really getting the time to I knew what I wanted, but I never put it down in writing. So it wasn't solid in my mind. It was like phrasing that always changed. Maybe the meaning would change a little bit from time to time. But having something solid and knowing exactly the kind of artist that I am, and I'm continuing to discover what I am, but having that like base thing in writing, describing myself, was like super helpful to me, and I think it really helped me understand what I can do to move forward.
Well, see, because it really allows like me as an artist to focus on the thing that matters to me the most, which is the music, but there is this whole part of releasing the music, and how you're supposed to release it, in what mediums are we supposed to be promoting it, how to dress for certain mediums, how to sort of address people in certain, there's like media training and stuff that we go through, and to have like a company like TPB on board, it took a lot of weight off of my shoulders. But it's always good to have a team that is looking after the overall picture of you as an artist, and the things that the overall plan for you as an artist. It's not just things like PR or something, which a lot of artists seem to think that that's all that the Big Beat does, but there's just so much more to that. It's even like just planning of the artwork and things like that. It's that kind of planning, that kind of sort of in-depth planning that she gets into, and not just gets into it, then actually sort of goes ahead and executes it. I guess the strategy would differ based on, whether you're a completely new artist or whether, you're somebody like me who's been in the industry for a long time, who's had some sort of a following, or if you're like somebody like Lucky Ali, who's just downright famous, the strategy would be different, and that's, I think, what the key is, that it's not a, one size fits all kind of a thing. And to know what is the plan and what is the strategy for each artist, I think that's where the skill and the creativity of Malvika and the Big Beat really sort of bring in the value.
I think what stands out with the Big Beat compared to other sort of publicity companies and things like that is that I've learned over years that they're very choosy about the people that they work with, but the artists they want to represent. And I think that in turn, like eventually helps journalists as well, because you're not getting bombarded by like 10 different pitches in like 1 week or something like that. All you're getting is a very specific, curated, sort of like targeted kind of pitch about an artist, and it comes back with that sort of knowledge and understanding of the artists themselves by the Big Beat. I think like they understand their artists quite well, and there have been times, of course, where it doesn't just fit with what I do, and I've been very happy to because we have that open line of communication. I can always say that it doesn't work for me to do something like this with the artist. I would rather do something like this, and they've been very understanding. So I think that's been great. The fact that a company like this has existed for this long is also proof that longevity is very much a need in this music industry. It's very important that companies continue to exist and do the work, just building that ecosystem and making people understand the full sort of like say legacy of an artist or anything like that. So I feel like those kind of things are important with journalists, of course. So hopefully they continue to do it for very, very long.
I've known Malvika for a number of years. First as a young and enthusiastic journalist, and then as a PR person who did a lot of work for us at DNA Networks, who has a great experience in live music and artists, and I wish her all the best in all her future endeavors.
The vision to make that bridge possible between artists and people, because there's so much out there now, and but yet kind of curating a tasteful recipe, and also then adding more and more artists, like a range and very, very colorful palette of music. And that's not just a USP, but it's actually its legacy, which has carried itself. That's how the Big Beat has become what it is.
We only had a month leading up to the release of our album, but Malvika really understood what the project was about, and she listened carefully and just like, I got it. And for a while we were a bit skeptical. We were like, did she really get it? But then after that, like all the the interviews that we had, the coverage that the album received, and the kind of questions, in fact, that we were asked, and where Malvika was able to step in and say, no, like Sushma is not going to be comfortable with this, or Sushma will be comfortable with this. And the way she took charge, I think it made me feel like, it wasn't just a project that Aisha and I were involved with, but actually this was very much her project. And this is something that she wanted to ensure, got the best reach possible. So I'm really thankful to her for that, and I can't wait to work with her again.
It's a fantastic PR team, full of passion, full of sharpness. They know exactly how to promote events, their artists, their products, and anything that they get into. I think it is one of the best team which works relentlessly to promote whatever they set out to promote. Our family, Arman Malik, Amal Malik, and we all have been very, very happy, very thankful for all the support Malvika has given us at all the given times whenever we have needed her. Thank you, Malvika. Congratulations, Big Beat. Go for it.
It's been a pleasure working with you guys. You help build cultural movements. You know what you're doing, and I think you guys are the best.
The pleasure of managing some of the best artists in the country. None of this would have been possible if without the amazing work of Malvika and the people at Big Beat. The reason why I say this would not have been possible is because press and PR and getting the word out there is so important, and it's such a huge part of what we do and what the artists hope we'll be able to achieve. And she's been an absolute pleasure to work with, whether it's 4 in the morning or... Well, actually, she's better with 4 in the morning than 9 in the morning, but you know, everybody has their own style of working. But she's been an absolute charm, and I wish her the best.
What they bring is this unique, holistic approach that really enables an artist to showcase their music and their art in a beautiful way.
I think the fact that Malvika is so personally invested in every artist is the biggest USP of the Big Beat.
We'd like to wish Malvika and Big Beat a very, very happy anniversary.
And thank you for all the love and support over the years. We wish you a lot of success in the coming years. We love you, Malvika.
Bye.
Congratulations on Big Beat.
Hey, it's been great knowing you and wish you all the best. Best of luck.
My personal experience with you has been always very, very warm and family-like. We've always spoken about doing festivals together. I hope that we can take the music to different places.
I look up to her for advice as well in terms of new work that I've done, to get a critique on the work that I've done, and generally, yeah, so it's quite safe to have Malvika around because she keeps the environment cheerful and very workable. So
I wish you a Big Beat, really long innings and successful. So God bless all of you, and just keep up your good energies and just smile like you always do.
I wish them all the best. You know, they're a great company, and I wish them well. I wish them success and growth.
I call you Super M, because that's like her superhero name. You know, I don't call her Malvika an M. I call her Super M. You'll always be super because you get to the bottom of things, and once you get to the bottom of things, and then you fly high from there, you can never fail. So continue doing what you're doing. Happy anniversary to the Big Beat.
Celebrate them and wish for them to continue their success.
Congratulations.
I really wish Big Beat kind of reaches another, not 13, but another 30 more years and even more.
Big Beat is doing amazing work in promoting the independent artists in the country. Hats off to Malvika for that. I want to take this opportunity to congratulate you guys for your anniversary. Many, many more to go. Cheers.
Now it's time to become one of the biggest in all over the world. So best wishes and rock and roll.